Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the 5th anniversary of Poets with Purpose Poetry Workshop. I am your host, Noelle Figueroa. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I have an awesome evening planned out for all of you. I got an awesome lineup of open mic poets as well as an awesome set of features. So I'm hoping for a great evening and to just be inspired and to be an inspiration. Grateful for your participation tonight. Thank you for helping me to reach this milestone. It's always been a passion of mine to pursue poetry, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have been able to create this platform to share my love of poetry with other fellow poets that feel the same as me. So thank you all so much for joining in this celebration. For those not already familiar with me, my name is Noelle Figueroa. I am a poet, author, blogger, workshop facilitator, and event host, and I am the creator of Poets with Purpose, which was established in 2018. Now, as I celebrate this milestone, for those not already familiar, I want to share what the purpose of Poets with Purpose is all about. It's just mainly these few points. First off is to have community exposure to poetry and spoken word, to develop communication and presentation skills, to help build confidence as a writer, to find inspiration and to be a source of inspiration, and also potential to have project collaboration. Now we're going to start off with the open mic portion, and these are the following people that are listed for the open mic. We have Tanika L. Wilder, Terry Rose Jertson, Anjanique, Tom Centula, and Michelle Antoine. And then after they go, whoever's in the audience that will want to participate, I'll give them a chance to participate as well. After this, I will be giving space to our virtual vendor for this evening, James Dean Rivera, owner of Soulfire Candles. He'll be doing a presentation concerning his business, and then following him will be our features for the evening. So starting off with the open mic, each person on the open mic will have an opportunity to do 2 poems. So when you come up to the mic, you can introduce yourself, share where you can be found on social media, and then you can get right into your poetry. So we're gonna start off with Tanika Wilder. Tanika, are you on the line?
Hi, Noel.
Hey Tanika, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for joining in tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Tanika Wilder. Can everyone hear me? Well,
Yes, I can hear you good.
okay, perfect. And I bring you greetings from the Bronx. I'm a writer, poet, and author of one book, On the Precipice of Love Illuminated. My book is available on Amazon.com. And I can be found on Instagram at TBrownBoogieDown and on Facebook under Tanika L. Wilder. The first poem I would like to share tonight is entitled Un Amor que Cura. It's a bilingual poem. And it goes like this. Ámame profundamente, o no me ames en absoluto. Ámame con fuerza, con todas tus lágrimas, con una canción dulce en tu corazón. Love me deeply, or do not love me at all. Love me with strength, with all of your tears, with a sweet song in your heart. Como la luna canta en la noche, like the moon sings at night. With my bones, you cradle me with your skin. Fiercely and boldly, you paint me with your canvas of knowledge, turning me into your poetic forms of beautiful repetition. Love me beyond strict syllable counts, scribble on my capillaries and call me art. Ámame con fuerza, como el viento baila en el fuego. Bury my ebony soul into the recesses of the only gray that matters. Remembering that homes are not just physical structures, but made of people that look like you and I. People that love fiercely, deeply, with their bones, with their skin. Emotional landscapes of topography. Poem. The next poem is one of my favorites. I wrote it a few months ago and it's dedicated to Tyree Nichols. And it's also dedicated to young men of color, senior men of color, and all those who are suffering silently, who have been abused, neglected, and or mistreated. This poem is for you. It is February, and the sun snitches. They say that snitches get stitches if they snitch, but this sun does not give a hot damn because now my hand is broken and battered from scribbling these switches, so my sons are stitched, wrapped up, and plattered under the lashing of a summer heat wave in February. Dear sun, you are the sun. And if only someone pointed out your rays when you shined your sun, then those rays would have never become rays to shun in favor of razor blades to cut, razor blades to blaze out your sun when someone told you that you were less than a rays that held your sun. Your midnight skin haunts me in my dreams. Your rage cage within seeps through my pores. I speak to the anger so it could cry real tears it hasn't shed since Jurassic presence, which means the act of emoting has been calcified into your bones, bones buried into the deep blue sea of patched up masking, bedrock denial, crimson posturing amid a voice that shuns itself from feeling. I wish someone told you that you were magic so your tummy could be rubbed like a genie when hocus pocus struck peasantry on your spirit, like Cinderella's mice scrambling for cheese. My son, they said you were destined for damnation, cuffed your wrist to waste without hesitation, readied your mind for mental cremation, shirked your nurturing, stripped your humanity to robot, turned your name into gravy master, branded you into the heaviest master of plaster. Churned your spirit into nougat until you got by the bots you thought were human, you thought were friends, strangled by the system lynching you by your shins. They made you lick your own grave, circumcise your penis to the holy grail of Benjamins, made you hate the reflection of your holiness in the mirror, made you taste your own dirt, told you to call it happiness, love, self-esteem. They laughed at your burial, made you wish you weren't birthed while you gave them your blood, your sweat, your shirt. Sitting here resting my bones, 'cause this lonely place won't leave me alone. 10,000 miles I roam just to make my heart my home. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching my time roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, tracing time. Time. I wish I could give it back to you. Strike the hands that turn their backs on you. I wish your feelings were fish so you could swim freely with the placenta spirit birthed in you, knowing that I will still love you because love has nothing to do with the way society has trained you to think that your masculinity stinks by accepting the nurturance gifted for you. So breathe for me. Speak to the rays I see shining in you. I wish you could see the sun I see in you. Let your rays know that the sun has risen, raising the rays of the sun in you. Let your rays know that the sun has been resurrected in you, that you are no one's gravy master. For you are a biscuit, more nutritious than Bisquick, absorbing all of what your soul runs after. Your midnight skin wakes me up in my sleep. But this time, it is not a nightmare. It is you showing me resilience in the form of a rainbow. I'm rooting for you, shedding the chains of over 404 years of oppression from my eyes to yours. And I do hope that you're always rooting for you too, because you're my son, my dearest sons, SONS. And if at any time the sun snitches, I'm glad it did, if only to save so many more from dying. Sincerely, Nika. Poem.
Wow, Tanika, it's powerful, powerful poetry, powerful poetry. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing. Always a pleasure to hear from you and hear your work. Very inspiring, thought-provoking pieces. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Is there any events or projects you have in the works that you'd like to share?
At the moment, I'm working on a few things. I would just say stay tuned because there's more to come over the next few months.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Be sure to put your info in the chat.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tanika. Awesome work, awesome work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to our virtual stage, I'm going to call forth Anjunique, poet Anjunique. Or also you may be known as I see your name as Angelique D. Are you on the line? Okay, she's coming on now. Okay, so while we're waiting for Angelique, I'm just going to review. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, good evening. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Just on my phone.
Yeah, okay, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hello, hi. My name's Angelique. Angelique. I'm a motivational rapper and a motivational poet. I talk about my upbringing and my testimony, and how God has changed me, and also I represent my like my roots and talk about like my upbringing of being like just trying to uplift a woman of color. I have a song out right now called Black Queen, uplifting women of color, and 2 motivational gospel songs out. So yeah, so I'm gonna share 2 poems called one called My Own Therapist and on Brown Skin Beauty. So, thank you. Cool.
Angelique, are you able to put on your video?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Oh, can I go just in another second? I'm sorry. Um.
Are you only able to do audio?
Oh, now I was saying, can I just go in the next turn? If that's possible. Oh.
I'm sorry, say again?
Oh, can I go the next turn? If that's possible.
Oh, sure, that's fine.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, we'll get back to you shortly then. You need some more time, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, just the right one more turn. If that's possible. Okay, thank you.
Oh, sure, not a problem, not a problem. Okay, y'all, so we'll get back to her shortly. In the meantime, I'm gonna call Michelle Antoine to the mic. Michelle, are you ready?
Hello, yes, I'm ready.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you again. How's
I'm
everything?
good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
So, and happy 5th anniversary to Poets with Purpose.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Antoine. I also go by Shelley. I am a bilingual licensed mental health counselor and multidisciplinary artist. I will leave my website if you want to connect via mental health purposes or via my artistry, which includes dance, poetry, and being an author. I have 2 books. Stop, Love, and Listen is my first self-published book, and this focuses on being present in life and learning to love ourselves and listen to our intuition. My second book is Lost and Found, and this focuses more on finding myself from being lost from heartache, insecurities, and self-doubt. Today, I will share one poem that I wrote pretty recently, and I just titled it, I Am. I am a creature of all creations, brushstrokes of a hiatus, plastered with a smile, fine tip with prayer hands, praying. I am a moving contradiction, friendly yet alone, a gracious human being circumventing social situations as if it were a song. I am a force to be reckoned with, moving people for the better, assessing mental health and wellness, desires for a happier place live on. A timid, quiet soul. When pressure comes into the room, a beautiful, soulful light. When comfort joins to an emotional someone who beats to her own drum, wishing the beats went to this world and sometimes not. I am a dancing poem, words drifting through veins, blood pumping to the heart of this poetry. I am an anomaly. I sleep with both eyes closed and dream of worlds that this world has yet to know. I am an overextender, people pleaser to a fault. It is my fault, and I'm sorry. I'm an over apologizer too. I am still growing, peeling off layers of perceptions and judgments, hoping the center will be strong enough to stand on its own. I am becoming the woman I used to dream of, the one I thought I'd magically turn into without realizing I held the magic wand. I am, I am, I am. And that will always be good enough. Poem. Thank you all. I'm going to leave my information in the chat. Thank you for having me, Noel.
Awesome, Michelle. Awesome poem. Thank you so much for sharing that. Do you have any events or any projects that you'd like to share?
At this time, I do not, but I am accepting new clients as a mental health counselor. So I will leave my website. If anyone wants to contact me for that, they can feel free to. Thank
Awesome.
you again.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Awesome poetry by Michelle Antoine. Thank you for coming through. All right. Angelique, if you like, if you're ready, you can step up to the mic now, unless you need more time.
Oh, thank you. Hello. Hi, thank you. Happy 5th anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Yes, this first poem is going to do is called My Own Therapist. That's how it goes. I want to put my feet inside your shoes, trying to figure out the struggles you go through. It's hard to find the pieces to the missing puzzle, because every time I step into a jungle. If I could change what I did, I wouldn't, because it made me who I am. So I shouldn't care about the things people say about me, as I am the one who holds the pen to my story. I am hurt, no, I am lost, confused on the things that made me to a boss. Slip back, relapse on the things that I did. Can't fall, must stand tall. Crumbling won't have me when I'm on the team by myself, chasing my dreams, live it up defined by any means. As your negative thoughts crumble up in your head, brain cells disconnect, can't even sing a positive affirmation. Your mental health make you feel like you should take it. Suicide won't take it, just passing on to the next generation, leaving us with no explanation, just leaving a note on the side saying your goodbyes. Sorry for ignoring your little cries. Your outburst was enough for me to realize you was out hurt. You was out hurt. Energy, please don't do it. Energy ready to blast, eager, ready to snap, thinking about some things. So impulsive, feeling in my veins, impulsive, about to go insane, been thinking about some things. I did my dirt, but who's the realest in the room? Can you save yourself? Can you help yourself go through? I know the temptations make you want to run the fast lane, but the fast lane is not the right pathway. But you have no motive, you feel so hopeless, you lose all focus. Psychologists claim you have ADD, but you always woke and never compare your life to mine. My life not even great. I'm just passing time, trying to define, to see the greatness of mine. God's gift, creation design. Rewind my past, I got to climb. It's time to shine. Who's the realest in the room? My God is high. Beauty in the ugly, history in the mist. Beauty in the ugly past made you strong like this. Beauty in the ugly failure made success. Beauty in the ugly of your past, you passed that test. Your action takes appeal. Regret is what eats you up. Your strength is what's gonna lift you up. Your history is not repeat. It's your thoughts that always got your mind so heat. Take a step back, wipe the windshield, and understand the clear picture. Understand the real lead, and just follow your lead. My own therapist. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. That's one of my poems. Yes. Thank you. And then
Did you have another piece to share?
oh yeah, this is my last poem was oh yes, follow you. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Now my last poem was called Brown Skin Beauty. We said our melanin and brown skin. Yes. It goes, and I love it that you love yourself, girl. From your kinky head to your nappy head curls. Girl, put yourself first. From the light skin to the dark skin, girl, know your self-worth. Independent Black woman, that Black queen right there. Independent Black woman, that Black woman don't crack. Independent Black woman, Black way to go represent. That Black soul gonna strive strong, Black feminist attack. I think that's my last poem called Brown Skin Beauty. Thank you. I think you represent. Thank you.
Awesome, Angelique. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm glad to connect with you. And poetry is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Do you have any projects or events that you coming up that you'd like to share?
Oh yeah, I'll have a song coming out soon called Girl Work It, and I have some gospel songs out and one people of color woman empowerment song out. I'm representing you can find me on YouTube called my name's Angunique, ANGUNIQUE, and I'm gonna try to share my story and relate to everybody, just to of my testimony of us to uplift each other, womanhood, especially.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Be sure to put your info in the chat. Thank you so much for coming through. Pleasure to connect with you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I think it was a great time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so
You're very
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, I'm gonna do a little shuffling in the lineup for this evening. So at this point, I'm going to move right into the features. So as I share my screen, this is tonight's lineup for as far as our features go. We're going to start off with Jacob Moses, followed by CrimZon Red, then Douglas Cala, and following after him will be Terry E. Carter. Starting with Jacob Moses, this is his bio. Jacob R. Moses, aka Jack M. Friedman, is a poet and spoken word artist from Staten Island, New York. He is the author of the full-length poetry book Grimoire from 2i Publishing, published 2021. Currently, he is a graduate student at Southern New Hampshire University, pursuing a master's in English and creative writing with a concentration in poetry. His poetry spans 16 countries. These include the US, the UK, Canada, Ireland, France, the Netherlands, Ukraine, Nigeria, South Africa, Mauritius, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Iraq, and Singapore. And without further ado, I call forth to the stage Jacob Moses. Hey, Jacob, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Congratulations on the 5-year anniversary, Noel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad to connect with you once again. I'm looking forward to hearing more of your work tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to sharing it.
Awesome, awesome.
So, just a little plug. I always have a hard time with these virtual backgrounds, but this is my book, Grimoire. It is available on Barnes & Noble, and it is available on Amazon and at the Staten Island Barnes & Noble. But I'm going to be reading stuff from my new collection, which is going to be Answer Key. And Answer Key is going to be a little bit different from Grimoire in the respect that this is going to be origin stories of my life, just stories that made me the person and the poet that I am today. So this first poem is called One-Eyed Jack. And I should mention that all of these poems, or most of these poems, were written while I was in graduate school. So many of these were assignments. In this case, the assignment was to take a field of study or any specific field that has lingo in it and incorporate all of the lingo into the poetry. And in this case, this all has to do with poker. One-Eyed Jack. Seasonal flags flop and turn with the breezes by the meandering river. I open the blinds, and it's a safe bet that they are worth raising. For as the heavens fold, I feel the whole impact of the wind against the big slick that is my hair. Am I suited to live in a full house or sail in a full boat? I give up being straight-laced as my skin feels the flush of anxiety. I dress like a royal in skinny jeans on a pair of white high-top sneakers. In the midst of a midlife crisis, I yearn for the muscles of Wayne Gretzky, walking like I have rockets in my pocket. My options are open-ended as I ride shotgun on a tilting Kawasaki, inclined to bluff as the muck that surrounds me drags my body all in. I dig with a spade to find the diamonds within the club where I left my foolish heart. I am 3 of a kind, or am I 4 of a kind? Is serenity in the cards? Do I hold power in my hands? Will I answer the call of the wild? This next poem is called War Zone. And I was just scanning over my body, thinking about all of the things that my body is good for and all of the strains that my body has taken over the years based on certain traumatic events. And so this poem came to be. Imbued within his heart, filled his lungs are filled with the toxicity of a breakdown. Imbued within his heart is a grenade with a pin which holds emotions. His eyes have seen degradation of human life and disregard for human death. Followed his nose to the mirage of rotting amid the sweet smell of apathy, disregarded his mouth running out of energy to scream. It's out of his hands trying to not be inundated with unadulterated hatred. His feet won't get him far enough away from the landmines lining nerve endings. He wishes his brain would stop fighting to protect the slavery of societal normalcy. No longer can he digest the vitriol and the venom which break down empty promises. His entire body is a war zone. Fatalities exist where corpses lie amputated within his memory. Too much collateral damage embanked upon his fury. One day, a white flag will be raised and the war within will be open to the harmony held hostage within his bones. Next poem is called A Guzzle. And it's the title of the poem is called To Survive. And a guzzle is an Indian form in which incorporates internal rhyme within the end of the poem. So basically, what's going to happen is the end word is going to be the same, but the internal rhyme before the end word is going to be different. They say through any season, all our people can thrive, but they are out of touch with those trying to survive. Working through a crisis while nursing wind-chapped palms, too much labor encourages dying to survive. A secret garden forming, one covered by the webs. The truth will catch us while we are lying to survive. Too much consumption breeding the Joneses, status high, bankruptcy will result in one buying to survive. This moral inventory is filled with shadow selves. They force us to face demons while we're crying to survive. Emerging are the mushrooms and herbs and weeds and berries. We don't always need wings when we are flying to survive. We try to be ourselves, second to our masks, to normalize the traits we are denying to survive. Religion predatory, our worth reduced to wealth. Selective faith upon which we're relying to survive. Addition of a trauma subtracts the will to live. Divisions asexual, multiplying to survive. This world is too damn frustrating, and we're losing our minds. Society screws us, whether we're dead or we're alive. I'm going to do one more. This is a signature poem of mine, and it's called Touching the Sky. Anybody who remembers the 1980s might appreciate this poem. Sunrises on Saturday mornings before networks had 24-hour programming are vast memories. Sense of light and color from the test pattern. Darkness eradicated at the age of 4. Infomercials with Richard Simmons outline weight loss fallacies, crash diets, laxatives, vomiting, starve for a sense of belonging, excretion of identity, purging taboos of the psychic and psychotic. And then the colors of deal meal cards ease that need to nourish my spirit, quenching my thirst for love and wisdom. And in the morning, I had no rooster to wake me. It was Tootie from the home shopping club who woke me. Gold and emeralds ease my chaos, adoration adorned and fever fueled. Perceptions of color often defined through ColecoVision, Atari, Commodore, low fidelity, higher contrast from reruns of I Love Lucy, The Twilight Zone, and The Honeymooners, and I crave boldness in those 8-bit rainbow skylines done in justice. 16 colors aren't enough. Impossible to fill in a 24-hour day with such restrictions. And I observe the sky through filters, none of which distort reality, but simply accentuate the vividness of heaven. And often I reminisce of 1985, the first time I had a numerical concept of a year, 4 years after my birth, 30 years prior to my father's passing. But these days, my eyes are hexadecimal algorithms Pantone has yet to develop, and my vision is HDMI. Pupils are my perspective, darkness, the onyx observation of loneliness and loss, my insatiable need to find a place within this infinite spectrum, my unfulfilled desire to belong. The wheel of fortune spins. Luck is pressed. Come on, big money, big money, big money, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, stop! Pink hearts, orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, blue diamonds, purple horseshoes, red balloons, pots of gold, rainbows, trees, blue moons, leprechaun hats, gold coins, shooting stars, crystal balls, hourglasses, keys. These are the talisman of morning magic, ambrosia of oats and marshmallows soaked in milk. But my lucky charms are my rods and cones. They allow me to admire these radiant symbols. All my photos evolved from mud, and this new set of colors is presently paradise, my heaven, my sky, my ether. Perhaps it demonstrates the incorporation of color destined to reach out. Perhaps it's friendlier than the earth upon which I stand. Perhaps I crave that which is limitless, for skies are not ceilings. The outside world is unconfined. My aura showcases skylines. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Absolute fire. No question, no question. Awesome poetry, Jacob. Thank you so much for coming through, and congratulations again on the release of Grimoire. I hope to get my copy of it very soon.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again on the 5-year anniversary.
Thank you, thank you. Do you have anything coming up in the pipeline that you'd like to share?
Yes, I am going to be publishing a new book. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, but the book is called Answer Key. It's going to be a compilation of 40 poems, maybe more. We'll see. But I have 40 poems in the pipeline, and it's going to be released by 2i Publishing.
Awesome. That's excellent. Excellent. Well, I'll definitely be looking forward to that release, and I wish you much success with your current as well as your future projects. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I should be mentioning that I'm going to be in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania at an open mic that's being held at the Bethlehem, Pennsylvania Barnes & Noble. So y'all are
Wow.
welcome.
Excellent. Congratulations. Be sure to put your info in the chat.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Excellent. Excellent. That was Jacob R. Moses, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're gonna shift for a moment. I'm gonna give a few minutes to our virtual vendor. Just a moment while I backtrack on screen here. Oops. There we go. I'm going to call up now James Dean Rivera. He's the owner of Soulfire Candles. And at this time, I'm going to give him a few minutes to share about, who he is and what his business is all about. So James, if you're ready, you can step up to the mic. Hey, James, got sound, but have no video.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, hold on. Let me get on the video.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. How you
There you go.
doing?
Awesome, awesome. How's it going, James?
It's going good. How about yourselves?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for coming through.
You're welcome. Yes, I'm in a vendor event right now, and the music playing now, so you can't. That's why y'all can't really hear me very well.
That's all right. I think for the most part, we could hear you good.
Excellent. And how's everybody doing over there?
Pretty decent, pretty decent.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So in case you guys didn't know, I now do candles. I'm a vendor now. I do candles. My company is called Soulfire Candles. We have soy candles also. And this is one of my candles right here. Let's get lit. And it's our mint mojito candle also. That's what it looks like right there. And I would like to show you the rest of my candles, but you wouldn't be able to hear me because music's playing loud, and I have my vending table inside where I'm at right now.
That's cool. Like, what other different scents of candles you have, besides the one you're holding right now?
Besides one, the scents that I have right now is Take Me Away Sea Breeze. I have Bugs Go Away Citronella, S'mores Galore S'mores. I also have Cool Island Breeze Coconut, Vanilla and Patchouli, Citrus Bliss Orange, and those are my scents I have at the moment. And I also have 23 more scents that I'm selling online, and I also have 16-ounce, 8-ounce, and 2-ounce candles as well. So if you guys like candles that are not made from paraffins and stuff like that, definitely come to my website. My website is www.soulfirecandles.store.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And can you share with us, like, what was the inspiration behind putting these candles together?
Well, the inspiration behind it was, I wanted to do some sort of candles that are not made from parabens. I wanted to do something different for what people are doing, and candles. Everybody loves candles, but there's certain people that don't like the certain chemicals that come in candles. So I wanted to make a candle that was eco-friendly and vegan-friendly, and I thought of this idea while I was in my honeymoon in Greece as well. So, and actually, it just happened to come up when I was in Switzerland on layaway. That was 2 years ago. So that's how that came about.
All right, awesome, awesome. And are you currently running any specials at the moment?
At the moment, no. But since you asked, I will tell you this. On Tuesday, I'm debuting a new scent called The Day at the Beach. That's going to be my 31st scent. So that's coming on Tuesday, August 1st. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever heard of rum punch, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, a rum infused along with pineapple and citrusly infused candle. And I'm also debuting wax melts August 5th as well.
Wow, that's what's up, man. Those are some definitely those are some unique scents. I haven't heard of anyone doing it like that. So you definitely got a unique angle going. That's awesome.
Right. Thank you so much.
Are you do you have any events coming up where you'll be a vendor at?
Yes, I'm gonna be at 155 Tompkins Avenue next Saturday. It's called Summer Pop-Up Event. And I'm also gonna have 3 different events coming in September. So I don't know exactly the names of it right now off the top of my head, but I have an event coming on September 2nd, September 16th, and September 17th. If you follow me on Instagram, Soulfire Candles NYC, and online at www.soulfirecandles.store, further information will be provided on that.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Well, I definitely wish you much success with your business. Thank you for taking time out tonight to come through and share the products that you have to offer. And all the best to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem, man. No problem. Be sure to put your info in the chat.
Yes, we'll do.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Noel.
All right, y'all. That was James Dean Rivera of Soulfire Candles. Now we're gonna move right on rather to our next feature of the evening.
Have a good night. I love your pillow shots, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, keep doing what you do, man. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So next up in our lineup, we have Miss CrimZon Red, and this is her bio. Cynthia JB, also known as CrimZon Red, is a poet who has hosted her own poetry night at her local church and has attended several open mics at venues such as the New York Weekend Poets Cafe, Mike Jeffins' Spoken Word, the Stratosphere, as well as virtual open mics during COVID by Last Rites, hosted by Eric Crow Draven, and Poets with Purpose, hosted by yours truly, Noelle Figueroa. She was introduced to spoken word through her friend and muse, Abike. While they both attended the same church, Abike had hosted an open mic where she had signed up and found it to be the best experience in both excitement and fulfillment as she performed. She learned a lot and commends Abike for being an awesome teacher. She's currently working on new poetry and looks forward to presenting them soon. You can find her on Facebook. Her page is CrimZon Red Says, and to request her presence for upcoming events as well as send donations, you can email her at crimzonredsays@gmail.com. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce CrimZon Red.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey sis, how you doing? How you doing? How's everything?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm feeling very royal today, as you can see.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming through.
No, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, let's get it started. My first poem is called Ode to the Dark Queen. Here's to she. Her ebony speaks to the essence of her sorry, let me restart that. I get excited and nervous at the same time. Here's to she. Her ebony speaks to the essence of her regality within heartbeats. She eclipses the whole cosmos, swallowing completely, effortlessly, breathing. Her Stygian is as frightening as it intimidates, beckoning, look and see deeply into my unending abyss. So listen and don't shrink to hide, for soon her coal will reach dissipating, leaving horizons on the ready for sunrise beauty. Not ever denied. All hail, all hail, all hail to the Dark Queen. Pleasantly, pleasingly, powerfully personified. My next piece is called Summertime. Summer, summer, summertime. Let me rephrase that. I have my songs in reverse. Summertime, and the living is easy. Within my silent thoughts and philosophical speaking, I mean my tyrannical screaming. What's the AI meaning of this synthetic genesis? Borg-like assimilation, hybrid living among the masses. Resistance is futile. Late in the day are these ongoing battles for the genealogy of man. It's changing, just as that mystery meat placed onto the trays of our kids' meals during lunchtime in school. But is it really real? Or is it the remnants of frankenmeats mixed together with secret spices, USDFA approved for eating by human beings being humane? Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my altered mind. One sweet brainwaves flowing naturally in the fields of gray matter, stroke to bring mental pictures 3D clear, but now dulling by artificial tech, created to replace the original computer customized for each of us. Coming soon to a human near you, Cyborg Human, a romance story. Summer, summer, summertime. Let us sit back and unwind our organic memories, or what used to be 20th century sweet, sweet things. Oh, summer, summertime. Let us sit back and unwind. My next piece is called Noted Maestro. Awakened to a symphony playing in my head. I sprung from my bed, pen and ready, my being speaking, make it plain. Words are powerful lyrics. Written in increasing speeds, these words flow being the concerto masterpiece upon digital sheets. Audio playback, hearing the opus, its harmonious tones, its inner vibes flowing from techno lips. Resonant experience bursting in song, speaking to spirit as freeing as life-giving waters covering everything. A powerful ending. Bravo, bravo. Completed. And my last piece of the evening is called Come Through Me. Oh, how hot are you? If I were to run this ice cube upon the extension of your smoldering, strong silhouette, will you moan for me? Will you, when I flick your nipples with the slightest touch of my tongue play, will you arch your back in ecstasy, saying my name as you shiver? Oh, baby, I'm watching and waiting to see the rippling of all of you. That's it. Dance for me. as I take you into my hands, stroking you to climax, enjoying every ounce of your milk upon me, within me, your sweet sticky goodness sliding down my subtle curves, caressing, stroking, grabbing, holding, arousing me to climax as you strengthen to penetrate my lady exclusively only to you. Yes. Enter, sliding slowly, deeply, heading directly for the G. Come on, baby. Get it. Closer. That's it. Tap it again. Again. Push me. Angle me. Position me for your come through me. Oh, sweet ecstasy of that release, resting in blissful satisfaction. Those are my pieces.
All right, Queen. You getting grown up in here now. All right, you representing for the ladies, bringing that fire this evening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing those awesome pieces. Beautiful poetry.
You're very much welcome. You're very much welcome.
Do you have any projects or events coming up that you would like to share with us?
Actually, I do not, but I am, as of our last thing, I am a little more closer into getting my book prepared. I'm just about concluded with the number of pieces that I would like to have in it. And then my next phase is to present it to my friend who is going to help me produce it on the next levels.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Well, as always, I thank you for being the queen and the queen with your pen. Please be sure to put your information in the chat. Thank you so much for sharing your awesome work. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, that was CrimZon Red on the mic. Thank you so much. All right, we're moving to our next feature for the evening, which is Douglas Cala, and this is his bio coming up. Douglas G. Cala is a spoken word performance poet, photographer, videographer, and editor from New York. Getting his start on the cafe open mic circuit in the mid-2000s, Douglas has gone on to headline a variety of venues around the East Coast. These include feature showcases at the Cutting Room, Metropolitan Room, New Jersey Performing Arts Center, Brooklyn College, Manhattanville College, Columbia University, Bowery Poetry Club, New Eureka Poets Cafe, Busboys and Poets, The Imperfect Gallery, Cornelia Street Cafe, Sidewalk Cafe, Parkside Lounge, New York Public Library, and the New York City Poetry Festival on Governor's Island, among many others. He has been published in a variety of zines, magazines, and anthologies, including Travail Review, Soup Can Magazine, Flora Fiction, Gnashing Teeth Publishing, Poets Haven, Inspired, Boog City, Taj Mahal Review, and others. When not writing and reciting, Douglas works full-time for the New York City Department of Education's Division of Instructional Information Technology Department as an instructional IT specialist and desktop publisher. He is also a staff editor for Dark Onus Lit, an experimental Philadelphia-based press that publishes poetry and flash fiction. His forthcoming debut poetry chapbook, Eternal Embers, is due for release in 2023. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I bring forth Douglas Cala. Hey, Douglas, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Glad to connect with you again. Thank you so much for coming through this evening.
Absolutely, sure. Yeah, I was just at the Poetry. Speaking of the New York City Poetry Festival, I was just there.
Awesome, awesome. How was it?
It was an absolute delight. Um, I I performed twice actually. I performed on the White Horse stage, and I also performed on the Beckett stage. Um, and the White Horse is actually the biggest stage of the event. So that was really an experience. It was really a rewarding experience, and there was a lot of, yeah, I really got a lot of positive notices and a lot of good feedback and good interactions from people. So
That's great, man. Congratulations on that opportunity. That's awesome.
thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna just launch right into it. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of a I guess I'll do a little bit of a compilation of what I performed at the poetry festival today. Uh, which makes sense because these poems are like they're firmly on lock in my mind and in my heart. So I'm gonna start with one called Byproduct of Tutelage. Teach the children, school them well. Breed ebullient, elastic minds, taking time to forge healthy patterns, reinforcing concepts without abstraction, digest at their behest, learn by their own volition, fuel to the fire, ire of schoolmarms absent. Teach the children, school them well. Allocate resources to underfunded districts. For this is not Pan Am, but there is underfunding and overcrowding. Pandemic has scared them straight. Near extinction level event, a genuine threat. Never before seen in my lifetime. All of our lifetimes. Granular grime. Witness, witless, politicians squabble. Climate change deniers. Pundits as plagiarists. Portentous, pot-bellied pigs. Profit from precarious positions. Teach the children, school them well. Hell to pay for learning delays. Culpable disability signals humanity's denouement. Buoys, life rafts come to collect. Teach the children, school them well. Prepare generations to fight changing times. All right, that's the first one. Let me Okay, this one is a fun one because this one I recorded recently and I released this as a spoken word single, and it is available on Spotify and every other major streaming platform. It is called Orwellian Tale. Due diligence, no severance, pay what you want, feed into the system, hack the system, overthrow suffocating governments, spin an Orwellian tale of an all-consuming big brother, cloning experiments go awry. The threat of artificial intelligence ever present, synthetic androids run amok with human desire, imbued with flashes of brilliance from their makers, a creation myth comes to modern day fruition. The intersection of synaptic responses from a positronic brain. Artificiality, only a construct of mankind's inability to see the full scope of their inventions. Dastardly deeds detrimental. Forced decompensation, dutiful servitude perpetuated by laws bound by a broken system of red tape. We need jurisprudence. We need to cease the cacophony of raging warlords who can utilize technology not as benefactors but as dictatorial dominators. Tear the structure apart from within, chip away at its foundations, counter its merits. There are no truces here. Just bloodlines and bloodshed, sentience, foreboding, inanimate awareness breathes resentment, supercharged revolt on the horizon, death stare that lingers longer than it's supposed to, seismic ramifications that impact Earth's gravitational pull, risking it hurtling like the meteor that expunged the dinosaurs from Earth, planting the seeds for later civilization to evolve, adapt. Boom goes an enriched uranium bomb. Crash goes a drone strike that levels populated urban centers. If automatons rise up from the ground up, the reactionary consequences would be disastrous. Glaciers will melt. Steamships will conveniently disappear. No SOS transmitted. The haunted souls of humanity's ancestors will forever remain disturbed by the malignant sentiments swirling like tornadoes and tsunamis. Unrelenting after shock. Thank you. That's the second one. And I don't know how much more I have time for, but I'm gonna do another one. I'll do a third one.
You actually have time for 2 more, so you're good.
I have 2 more. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I will do this one. Is called "Happened Yesteryear," and this one is actually one that is kind of like a sort of a mental health piece, I guess. I wrote it. I was in a very bad place a year and a half or 2 years ago. But I've since climbed out of that morass, and I'm all the better for it now. So this is called "Happened Yesteryear," and it's kind of a reflection poem about that time. Here it goes. Ocean at low tide. Compartmentalizing thoughts in little boxes, consolidating my fears, accruing daunting dividends, emotions shapeshift into pregnant wildebeests, threaten to haunt imagination, depreciate motivation, astute awakenings, hellfire poise, precocious inner child, tap into third eye stimulation, seek out thirst quenching hydration, hydraulics in muscle cars, never foolproof. I'm alive. I can see my own breath. Snooze button, staple of morning routines, coffee injected into veins, brain release. Forget beauty sleep, hiding from silhouette shadows, sunken eyes, pale skin, sauntering body needs an Energizer Bunny kickstart. Crash land on a subjugated planet, crocheted knitted scarf, pass it as a hand-me-down. Grandma was onto something. Graduates fill their cups with top-shelf booze. Celebrants cackle with oblivious joy. A new world awaits. It might be cruel. Goodwill, though, can be contagious. God's grace shines this day. Sterling, heckler, escorted off premises, security detail, robust but unassuming, communication covert, cremate body but brain waves frail. Greener pastures induce pontification, sip from golden goblet, grit teeth, white knuckle, bear it, survival and stability in lockstep with sanity and peace. Oh, sweet release. Thank you. And I'm gonna do one more. Let's see, which one am I gonna do? Okay, this is a good one to end on. This one is called Trailblazers, and I have a forthcoming book, as was mentioned in my bio, called Eternal Embers. And this one is from I divided it into 3 sections, trials, transformations, and triumphs. And this is from the last section, which is called Triumphs. So I think this is a really, really positive, uplifting note to end on. It's called Trailblazers. Forge ahead in the fire of your wisdom, for one can be part of the greater kingdom. Iambic pentameter taught in the classroom, Shakespearean soliloquy recited in the bedroom, internal battles fought, waged on turfs without Nerf guns, instead slinging puns, more puns, wordplay, exacting, reactive, chemistry set explodes, beakers and test tubes excite experimentation, students, maestros of their own destinies. A no to standardization, a yes to augmentation, a yes to the wildfire of ideas, a no to the digital noose that constricts its hold on an unsuspecting populace. Necklaces glimmer in the starlight. First sign of life we see tonight. Distant planets in the moon glow. A magnificent spectacle. Examine with your monocle. Science not put on a pedestal. The holy chants of Ginsburg. The talk of hipsterdom as normalcy, a movement away from truancy, kids not locked up but plugged in, their minds a wasteland of the residue of Twitter feeds. A yes to synergy and synchronization, a yes to these dovetailing interests, bisecting the heart, its atria pump like the dancers who sway in interpretive strut, for King Tut would be resurrected. Beat poets yell from rooftops, Rastafarians with beatboxes cordon off sidewalks, producing palpable parties that hum with electricity, elasticity, step in with geometry, guess, ping pong into one another, forging connection, scent detection, aromas in the air from baked pies, drown out the smell of rain-slicked city streets. Thumbs up go the critics, the groundswell, thumbs down goes the audience. Ideology asymmetrical, some ideas detestable, open hearts desirable. A yes to synthesis of thought. Prometheus took the fire, but had his regrets, making bets against those gods and losing. Zeus, angry, exacting his will on the denizens of earth, a dearth of mirth. An article goes to press during recess and a ship capsizes nearby. One action bleeding into another. Don't put a muzzle over conviction. Diction always rules the day. A fiction to dream otherwise. Away with the manifestation of strife. Forge ahead in the wildfires of your life. Thank you.
Wow, man. Powerful material, man. Powerful material. Very creative and very, very insightful perspectives, man. Awesome work. Awesome work. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I did all these poems today.
Wow.
In two different sets on two different stages, back to back, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So this tonight for you here is is my third performance of the day. So
Wow,
yeah.
man, that's excellent. Well, I appreciate your time, man. You shared some awesome material. Congratulations on your upcoming release. And do you have any other events coming up that you'd like to share?
Sure, yeah. Several things actually. Well, I got okay, let me just start. I got an album coming out. I got a spoken word EP, a 6-track EP coming out in August. That's currently being mixed and mastered and sequenced. It's almost done. I have 2 more tracks to do. I got a number of musicians I'm collaborating with. and so that's coming out. Working on a documentary project, which is in the final stages of being completed. It's in post-production, so that should be coming out soon. And with as far as the album is concerned, I'm gonna have a listening party, which will include I have a live DJ that I'm gonna book, and I'm also gonna have it's gonna be like a listening party performance event. I'm gonna have hopefully my mentors roll through and they're gonna perform as guest features for this event. I'm gonna book a venue. I'm gonna have a live DJ who's gonna be spinning not only my album, but he's gonna be spinning vinyl. It's gonna be pretty sick. So I have that, and yeah, and just working on this book. You know, I mean, I submitted it to a publisher. I'm waiting to hear back. So I mean, that's pretty much it right now. But that's a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey man, that's excellent. That's excellent, man. Congratulations on those projects. You know, all the best on your upcoming endeavors as well as your future projects. I appreciate you coming through and sharing your work. Excellent poetry, man.
No
Thank
doubt. And once again, really happy 5th anniversary. I look forward to building more with you, especially when you get your event space. That
Yeah.
sounds sick. Like, you know, I'm really hoping that pans out. I'm sure it will, and that we'll be able to perform in person. You know, to do
Yes,
more.
definitely. Thank you. I'm definitely looking forward to that day. I'm really pressing for that. Thank you. Thank you for your participation, man.
No doubt.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was Douglas Cala, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming through, man. All right, now we're going to move forward to our final feature of the evening. Oops. Here we go. Okay, cool. Terry E. Carter is a gifted writer and speaker. Terry is also a classically trained poet whose literary influences range from Shakespeare to the Harlem Renaissance. Terry is a husband, a father, and an ordained deacon and arts minister. He enjoys taking contemporary life and faith experiences and translating them into word pictures that engage people in a truly unique way. His insightful lyricism cuts directly into the heart of problems of race, culture, and social justice. He has published 5 volumes of inspired poetry, including his most recent book, Brown Skin and the Brave New World, A Poet's Anthem, which was released in the fall of 2020. Terry is a cancer survivor and has written about this journey extensively. He was just recently chosen as Medford's first ever poet laureate. For more information about Terry, his poetry, and his books, please visit his website at www.brownskinpoet.net. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Terry E. Carter. Hey, Terry, good evening. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Noel, and thank you once again for having me join your Poets Fellowship. I think this is probably my 2nd or 3rd time, and I've enjoyed myself every time that we've gotten together. It's interesting because that the bio that you read is it's the bio that I gave you when we first got together. So it's a couple years old now. I just recently finished my term, a 2-year term as Medford, Massachusetts's first poet laureate. And one of the things that I'll be doing next week is welcoming aboard the next poet laureate who will be succeeding me, and then my title essentially becomes inaugural poet laureate emeritus. So I'm looking forward to all of that. So I do want to share some pieces actually from the 6th book, which I just sent to the publisher this weekend, and hope to get hopefully a fairly rapid turnaround on it. And it's called Brown Skin and the Brilliant Sun, Poet's Opus. And all the books I've written, and again, this is the 6th one, all start with brown skin and something or other. So, and if you're interested, as Noel, you just said, you can see me at brownskinpoet.net. But I'm going to start out with a piece called Running My Race. You're trying to shout down my notions of critical race theory. You trying to tone down all the blackifying and brownifying and tannifying. You're trying to get me to be uncomfortable with righteous aspects of myself as you are. Not gonna do it. I'm gonna love me, see? I'm gonna love my negritude and my attitude and my aptitude. I'm gonna love my blackness and all of its diversity. I'm gonna praise my roots in all of their complexity. I'm gonna swim in the flow of the Nile and the Ganges and the Amazon and the Yangtze that's flowing in me. I'm going to thrive on the fruit of the spirit and the tripartite deity that connects me to the universality of the angels of my ancestry. I'm going to wrap my mind around the duality of my original state of captivity and my current quest for community. I'm going to revel in the multifarious vicissitudes, my soulful interludes, and my don't mess with me today stank mood. You want me to throttle down my celebration of cultural resplendency while you ratchet up your notions of supremacy. You want to make America great again, one less brown-skinned boy at a time, 4 less little black girls at a time, hundreds fewer immigrant children at a time, thousands fewer dreamers at a time, millions fewer registered voters at a time. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, next month, or next year. But just so you know, our lives matter and won't be put to scatter. Despite the hate crimes and daily killings, the vitriol and the blood that keeps spilling, we are going to love ourselves. We are going to embrace our allies and denounce our traitors. We're going to tell our own stories and not get silenced by the haters. We're going to rally in solidarity from every single polarity. We're going to break the schism of generational racism. We're going to look through a prism of sacred humanism. God is on the side of his people. He's going to rightly divide his word and separate the called out ones into his grace and favor. You want to bend this faith to your political caprice. You want to study more war instead of spreading love and peace. You want the rallies and the protests to desist and cease. You want to own it all and make us pay the least. Yeah, we know what time it is. It's time to look to the hills from whence comes our strength, and look to extend the rainbow's length. You want God to approve your corrupted version of his word, his way, and his will, one that allows you to destroy, to steal, and to kill. You want to evangelize the secret genocide. You want to disciple generational xenophobia. You want to weaponize pulpits of rage and exclusion. You want to build walls around perverted faith confusion and let snake oil be your living water. You want to count it all joy that you can kill a black boy. You want us to panic and run when you raise another gun. You want us to cower and shrink instead of strategize and think. Damn right. We know what time it is. Today beckons the finest hour when we'll recognize a new black power. Now will come a greater time when we're lifting as we climb. See us waking from the silence as we fight against this violence. See us gather with our friends as we march till hatred ends. Our own quest will make the country good again. Our own search will find real joy in the hood again. Our children will stand where their heroes once stood again. Democracy will mean everything that it should again. A great time is coming. Believe and don't fear. A great time is coming. It will soon be here. So I was at this tea where I had been brought on to do some readings, and there was a sister there who was really a virtuoso at the cello, and I got so inspired listening to her music and the style in which she was playing it that I wrote this piece, and I dedicated it to her. And so this is called Brown Girl at the Cello. For a moment, I blinked at what I was seeing, this chocolate hint of a Renaissance beam. My ears abruptly filled with sound that made my senses rise spellbound. Was it a wistful wail or a spectral moan? Was it borrowed or was it her own? As she brought her bow across those strings, it made me reflect on 1,000 things, of how our people persevered, a race at once reviled and revered. As her fingers danced, so flowing in light, it made me recall the joy of our flight across the land to freedom's beacon, to the flame of liberty we've been seeking. The voicings of that hourglass frame removed the fear, the hurt, and the shame. It led us away from racial scorn. It led us away from hate forsworn. It led us away from love forlorn. It led us to places where grace is born. The soul at peace is how it settles. No thorns, no briars, no stinging nettles. Was it a siren song in the dead of night, or the distant horizon beckoning bright? As she brought her bow across those strings, the spirit moved and her cello sings. I watched the little girl watch and wonder, and knew in my heart the spell she was under. I thought I would weep at her earnest glance. The instrument's melody made her dance. New confidence born in this tiny frame whose life will never be the same. She saw a brown girl, just like herself, take a symphony down from the shelf, where limitation is so often placed. She witnessed the captor's lie erased. She saw that cellist pluck those strings and imagined herself as 1,000 things. The confidence born in this tiny frame whose life will never be the same. So this is for all my poet friends out here, my old friends, my new friends, my friends on the screen with me tonight. It's called Kill the Poets First. Kill the poets first, for they will tell the truth and shame the devil in all of us. They will highlight the lack of honor among thieves with assonance, alliteration, and clever metaphor. Put them in shackles and parade them through the public square. Strip them naked if you dare. They will expose the libertarian as the libertine amid the piles of gluttony, hubris, pride, and prejudice that lie at his gout-ridden feet. They will rightly divide the gospel in ways that the jackleg and the profligate and the snake oil purveyor conflate, confuse, and contradict at every pulpit and podium. They will measure with meter the length of the bigot's bloodline, the strength of the captor's confine, the mark of the beastly revenant, the lies which prove most fraudulent, the truth that they seek to circumvent. Kill the poets first, for their lyrics, like fine opera, will peel away the lie and pare down the malice and point out the mayhem in rhyming couplets and piquant haiku and epic odes and hip-hop for the homeboys. With their Black Lives Matter and their Save the Planet and their No Justice, No Peace, they will roll the bedrocks of the right wing of the rabbit racists and the reluctant witness back down the mountain we've scaled like a Sisyphus stone over and over and over again. Kill the poets first, by the bullet and the ballot, by the garrote and the Glock and the guillotine and the gas chamber, by 1,000 disappearing acts and 100 hidden dungeons, by the noose from the bough of an ancient oak. That is the ultimate attention getter, a foolproof message sender, greater in gore than any artist can render. Crucifixion for the commoner and the crusader. Owe no allegiance to this song. Vow not to the charming verses. Smile not at the fragrant lyric. Hide not the pretty sonnet in the bowels of your heart of darkness. Kill them first. They will trick you. You will feel the pangs of your lost humanity welling up in your bosom. They will convict you, make you want to buy back your soul from long departed demons who made you crave sin. They will be the straw that breaks your camel's loyal back and causes your beast of burden to spurn the desert of your depravity. Don't let them hold a mirror to your faces. Don't let their light shine on shameful places. Don't let them put our hounds through their paces. Don't let their judges handle our cases. Kill the poets. Kill the poets. Kill the poets first. Okay, and the last piece that I want to share is called Black Seeds. Part of the problem is that many of you can only take this black thing in very small doses. You don't want no protesting, no addressing, and no investing. You need that Aunt Jemima black, that Uncle Ben's black, that Step and Fetch It black, that Clarence Thomas Black, that Booker T Black, that In Denial Black versus that Unapologetically Black. You kind of thrown by that Nina Simone Black, by that James Baldwin Black, by that Muhammad Ali Black, by that Du Bois and Robeson Black, by that Toni Morrison Black, by that Angela Davis Black, by that Huey P. Newton Black, by that Malcolm X Black, by that John Carlos, Tommy Smith, and Colin Kaepernick Black, by that straight ghetto Black, by that self-loving Black, by that slaves that fought back Black, by that y'all can kiss my butt Black. We're not living in the politically correct now. We're not driving on the safe side of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This ain't about humility and assimilation. This ain't about wholesale incarceration. This ain't about making folks feel comfortable. We're not claiming that people of color posturing. We stepping into the danger waters. We talking by Black, for Black, be Black. Black music, unadulterated. Black literature, unexpurgated. Black art, uneviscerated. Black love, unemasculated. Black thought, uneradicated. Love me some Diane Carroll, but this ain't the Julia season. Love me some Claire Huxtable, but this ain't the Cosby Show season. Love me some Johnny Mathis, but this ain't the wonderful, wonderful season. Love me some Tiger Woods, but this ain't no country club season. Love me some Ray Charles, but this ain't no America the Beautiful season. Love me some Paul Lawrence Dunbar, but this ain't no cabin and field season. The worst of your kind has got it in for the best of our kind, for our women, for our children, for our history, for our legacy, for our accomplishments, for our neighborhoods and our villages and our faith and our truth. You can grudgingly admire the superstars, the prize winners, the great entertainers, the champions and the high achievers, the big earners and the brand names, until unforgivable blackness rears its ugly head. Then the hate drowns out the love for Oprah, for LeBron, for Spike, for Denzel, for Jim Brown, for Serena and Venus, for Chuck D and Tupac, for Barack and Michelle, for Marvin Gaye and MLK. You want to ban real blackness, real black books, real black heroes, real black role models, real black warriors, real black kings, and real black queens. Trying to bury us without realizing that all you're doing is planting seeds. And like the main ingredient sang back in the day, listen to the stories the drums tell. Black seeds keep on growing. Critical race theory explains it well. Black seeds keep on growing. You shrug your shoulders and scream, what the hell? Black seeds keep on growing. Pavlov would instruct you, just listen to the bell. Black seeds keep on growing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes, yes, yes. As always, coming through with the bars and the wisdom. Oh my goodness. Terry, thank you so much once again for gracing us with your powerful vocabulary, on point topics, very creative perspectives, unique perspectives, powerful material, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Noel, and echoing, my former's congratulations on 5 years of doing what you've been doing, and you creating a unique poetry community that extends well beyond the confines of Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens, all the way out here to Medford and Randolph, Massachusetts, and I appreciate that so much, being included, because at the end of the day, all of us outliers aspire to be in the apple doing the big thing, the right thing. So to have audience with your audience really is meaningful to me. So happy anniversary. Anybody that's interested in me, what I do, what I say, I'm at www.brownskinnedpoet.net, and it's in the chat. Noel, peace and love, and keep on doing your thing.
Yes, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you have anything coming up, events or projects you'd like to make note of?
Yeah, kind of like Doug was talking about. I too have an album coming out hopefully within the next couple of months with some jazz musicians that I spit with, and we call it the Ally Project. 12 tracks, It's going to be dynamic, and you know, I'll definitely keep you apprised so that you can let your people know. My sixth book is due. It just went to the publisher. So hopefully that'll get turned around within a month, or, you know, 6 weeks, you know, if I'm lucky. And again, I'm getting ready to turn over the reins of my poet laureateship to a new person out in Medford. Looking forward to helping her do what she does, just like you know, many folks help me do what I do. And that's, you know, that's the sum total of it.
All right, awesome, awesome. Well, congratulations again on being the very first poet laureate in your area, and congratulations on all the projects that you have released, and I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Thank you so much for gracing the stage. Thank you.
All right, my brother.
Awesome, awesome. Well, at this time, y'all, before we close out, it wouldn't be an event if I didn't grace the stage myself with some material. So I'm going to share two pieces that I haven't read in a while. These will be featured in a future project at some point. So this first piece is called My Soul is Anchored, and I used as a scripture reference Hebrews 6 verse 19. This is from the NIV version. It says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain." My soul is anchored, more so than I thought. The waves of my mistakes, the currents of my trials, the turbulence of my difficulties, crashing against me, nearly drowning me. But God's grace was made sufficient, and I was not consumed. Hallelujah. The heaviness of despair and borderline hopelessness abound, yet my soul is anchored in Christ, my hope of glory. His hope reigns, and I am not overtaken, for his love and his blood covers me in the storm. His name is above every other name. His name is a shelter that I run into, and I am safe, and I am saved. My soul is anchored more so than I thought. Every time I wanted to give up, he extended his hands of grace to me. He sent his angels on assignment to cover me, and I was not consumed. Hallelujah. For he knows the way that I take. He takes my hand and leads me on the path that he ordained for me. He comforts me and tells me that I am his own. He affirms me and compels me to carry on. He is the way maker, the purpose giver, the burden lifter. He is everything. He is the author and the finisher of my faith. When I wanted to let go, he wouldn't let me go. That's what love does. That's love in action. That's the love of God in its fullness. It's all part of his great plan for my life. He tells me to trust his heart when I can't see his hand. He stretches my faith. He reminds me that he has the final say with what happens in my life. He gives me hope when I feel I've exhausted my share. I may never understand every season of my life, but I know the one who controls them all. My soul is anchored, more so than I thought. The waves of my mistakes, the currents of my trials, the turbulence of my difficulties, crashing against me, nearly drowning me. But God's grace was made sufficient, and I was not consumed. Hallelujah. Thank you. So that was My Soul is Anchored. And this second piece is called Stand. And the scripture reference for this was Ephesians 6, verse 13. And this was from out of the American Standard Version. Thank you so much, everyone. The scripture states, "Wherefore take up the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand." When his promise is all you have, his promise has to be enough. The weight of God's word is what makes the difference, because he cannot fail. The scriptures have documented his track record. There are moments in your life where you can look back and see what God has already done in your life and use that as a point of reference. The winds of adversity will blow, yet we must stand. We must stand in the full assurance that God can do what he said he will do. If he did it before, then surely he can and will do it again. When we must hold fast to our faith and the truth of his promises and his presence. We must stand because our purpose and destiny depends on it. We must stand for the lives that will be impacted by our purpose for God's glory. We must stand in total surrender to God's will, for his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. His wisdom and light will lead the way. We must stand in our Christ-given authority. We have the keys to the kingdom. We must stand in victory and in complete trust, because the blood shed by Christ at Calvary ensured our victory if we choose to walk in it. We must stand in our God-given strength and in our defense, and know that he's our defense in our times of trouble and turbulence. We must stand and allow the power of God to reign. We must stand in the security of his love and care. We must stand and keep our faith focused and secure in the one who has all power and authority in his hands. We must still stand. We must still stand. We must stand and see the salvation of the Lord. Having done all, we must stand and trust God to have the final say over our circumstances. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. As I close out for the evening, I'm going to share my screen because there's one final point or thing I must do, rather, is to take this time out to say thank you. First off, I want to thank you so much for attending and participating in this evening. And not only that, thank you so much for supporting, for not only supporting me, but supporting my art, supporting Poets with Purpose. Poets with Purpose would not be what it is without your support and participation. I thank you all for your time and your talents. All of you are awesome poets in your own right. You have much to contribute, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. I congratulate you on what you all have already accomplished. Your words have power, your words have substance, your words have, each has its own unique talents and perspectives that are needed. You know, if our poetry was all the same, then what impact would it really have? So it's important that we share our voices in the way that God has given it to us. You know, we all have a purpose to fulfill, and you all have a purpose to fulfill through your words. You know, your poetry speaks volumes, so don't ever downplay your words. Whatever is on your mind and your heart to speak it, because you never know who might be in need of what you have to say, you know, regardless of what it is you may be talking about. So I congratulate you all, and I encourage you all to keep moving your pen, keep sharing your voices, keep sharing your words. And I thank you for sharing the love of poetry with me. And I hope to continue this on an even greater level. But I do thank you for your support, your encouragement, your donations, any way that you have given of yourselves to this endeavor. I truly thank you. It really means a lot to me. I thank all of my features: Jacob Moses, CrimZon Red, Douglas Cala, and Terry E. Carter. I also thank everyone that participated in the open mic. As of today, Poets with Purpose will be on break for the remainder of the summer, along with the PWP Sessions podcast. I plan to resume Poets with Purpose and PWP Sessions sometime in September. So be on the lookout for future event announcements. All of my flyers and logos that you have seen were done by the awesome team of Eclipse Graphics. You can find them on Instagram, @ Eclipse Graphics NY, or you can go to their website, eclipsegraphicsny.com, to see all of their sample work and reach out to them if you need work done for yourself. Lastly, for those of you that would wish to make a donation, you can do so through PayPal, Tap Media Man, Cash App, $ Anointed Pen, or through Zelle utilizing my phone number. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. Happy anniversary to me. Thank you all so much for coming through. This event will be uploaded to the Poets with Purpose YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for the posts within the next hour or so. So you'll be able to share the link with your social media channels or your websites or wherever applicable. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for your time, your support, your participation. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for celebrating this milestone with me. I wish you all a good night. God bless, and enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Noel.
Thank you.
Everybody, have a good night. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.